This is Russell Dobular sitting in for Jimmy Dore, who will be in Denver on May 11th. Go to jimmydore.com for tickets. We just had the royal event of royal events in America, the White House Correspondents Dinner.
Jesus H.
Now the journalists in Gaza asked the journalists of the West to, in solidarity, boycott this event. Max, maybe you know better than I do. I've done some research on this. I cannot find one person who boycotted. Do you know of any person who boycotted in response to their request?
Well, there was a letter. I know Palestinian journalists who boycotted. I don't know how many would have been let in through the doors.
Right. They requested a boycott, but I'm not aware of a single Western journalist who responded to that positively. So
it's actually called a they-cot now, by the way.
No.
So they were greeted quite warmly by the crowd, and as you could see, they gave two shits about the protesters. They could give two shits. This is like Paris 1789 stuff. Oh, the peasants. Can't someone shut them up? So
too much volume.
Not
gotta lower the volume. I couldn't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Not only did nobody, as far as I can discern, at least out of Western reporters, boycott this event, they completely snubbed them on stage during the event. So protesters attempted to shame journalists and politicos heading to the White House Correspondents Association dinner on Saturday, good luck, into skipping the event in solidarity with the many journalists who have lost their lives in Gaza since Israel began its war on the territory. For some attendees, the protests on the way in may have been the only time they heard about those journalists killed in Gaza, unless they were listening very closely. The slain journalists in Gaza were mentioned one time on stage, according to transcripts of the event, when NBC News senior White House correspondent Kelly O'Donnell said, quote, "Since October, about 100 journalists have been killed, most of those deaths in Gaza, according to the Committee to Protect Journalists."
That's blood libel.
Yes, it's blood libel. That was it. Since Hamas's October 7th attack, Israel has laid siege to Gaza, killing 34,000, displacing millions, and leaving the population at imminent risk of famine. At least 97 journalists have been killed in Gaza since the start of the war, the Committee to Protect Journalists wrote on Friday. President Joe Biden, who has steadfastly supported Israel's war, did at one point acknowledge the dangers journalists face. Quote, "You literally risk your lives doing the job you do, covering everything from natural disasters to pandemics to wars and so much more. And some of your colleagues have given their lives, and many have suffered grievous injuries. Other reporters have lost their freedom." So this being Rolling Stone, they're not even going to mention that this is the president who's prosecuting Julian Assange.
Yep.
They're not even going to mention that.
You know, man, I got a guy that ain't going to help. We'll let him get out, man. Come on, we got to keep him in there, man.
We call him Crocodile Dundee around the Oval Office. The White House Correspondents' Dinner is Washington, D.C.'s event of the year. The night where the Beltway's top journalists, politicians, celebrities, and clingers on party with White House staff. The president attends every year, except Donald Trump, to make jokes and also submit to a roast.
The only boycott ever was actually Trump?
I believe so. It was only Trump. It was only Trump. That role was performed Saturday by Saturday Night Live's Colin Jost, who did not mention Gaza.
Didn't mention it.
Okay.
Didn't come up.
That's
a real comedian.
Didn't even come up. Assange, not at all.
Can I guess he went to Harvard? I'm going to guess he went to Harvard, right? That guy?
Well, Jost, I'm actually going to play that. because it was so disgustingly crowded.
Oh God.
Have you seen any of that, Jimmy?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you're gonna vomit.
Jimmy's gonna lose
vomit.
it.
Get Jimmy a barf bag. So this Code Pink, while this political protest was no issue at the WHCD, multiple Code Pink attendees were violently removed for signs advocating for journalists in Gaza. So much for free speech.
Oh my God.
Okay, so let's take a look at Colin Jost. I mean, this was really disgusting. We were touching on this a little bit earlier with Ryan and corporate comedians. This is craven at a level that's almost inconceivable.
No, I saw him do 2 good jokes on something, which was I pretend to be a journalist too or something, and he didn't bring Mike Che because, like Biden, he was losing all his black support. Did you hear those?
No.
Oh.
No, but I saw him thanking Biden for making his grandfather happy, which is the clip we're going to take a look at.
He voted for you, and the reason that he voted for you is because you're a decent man.
Oh, Jesus H. What is decent about Joe Biden?
My grandpa voted for decency, and decency is why we're all here tonight. Decency is how we're able to be here tonight.
What?
What? Decency?
I think his grandfather's also probably not this guy.
Did his grandfather also used to shower with his daughter? When
Decency is how we're able to make jokes about each other, and one of us doesn't go to prison after. We go to the Newsmax after party.
Oh, we'll slam on Newsmax.
And when you look at the levels of freedom throughout history and even around the world today, this is the exception. This freedom is incredibly rare.
Are you fucking...
And the journalists in this room help protect that freedom, and we cannot ever take that for granted.
Oh my God.
Like,
and they all applauded.
It is just fucking
this is a sketch
unbelievable.
Okay. Like you don't
all right, so hang on. Before we really dive into it,
jokes,
I put together a couple of short clips just to remind people of how we got here. Okay? So you might remember there was some controversy a couple years back. But let's go back before that first. So this is the kind of thing that really cracks up this crowd. You might remember George Bush's hilarious prop comedy bit about WMDs. Let's take a quick look at that to review what really
let the decency wash over you.
Yes, yes.
Those weapons of mass destruction got to be somewhere.
They loved it. They loved it.
Nope, no weapons over there. Maybe under here.
Wow.
A war that cost the nation trillions of dollars, tens of thousands of lives, hundreds of thousands of Iraqi lives. If that is not a dissolute aristocracy, I don't know what is. But so Colbert very famously kind of ribbed George Bush. But, you know, they took it in stride because let's face it, what is it? At the New York Times, 93% of their readers are Democrats. So that didn't bother anybody.
Like it was outrageous when he did that. I remember that.
Colbert,
when Colbert did that, they acted like it was fucking outrageous what he said.
Yes, but not like what Michelle Wolf did.
Okay.
Because he didn't go after them. He went after Bush.
Okay.
She went after them. And this is how you wound up with Colin Jost sucking Biden off about his beloved grandfather, because they will never let this happen again. This was, I believe, 2017.
By the way, I think she knows she's dating Mos Def.
No.
Yeah, so she's sympathetic.
You guys are obsessed with Trump. Did you used to date him? Because you pretend like you hate him, but I think you love him. I think what no one in this room wants to admit is that Trump has helped all of you. He couldn't sell steaks or vodka or water or college or ties or Eric. But he has helped you. He's helped you sell your papers and your books and your TV. You helped create this monster, and now you're profiting off of him. And if you're gonna profit off of Trump, you should at least give him some money because he doesn't have any. Trump is so broke. He grabs pussies because he thinks there might be loose change in them. All right, like an immigrant who was brought here by his parents and didn't do anything wrong. I gotta get the fuck out of here. Good night.
Then our final line of the night was Flint still doesn't have clean water, actually. So that's how you wound up with Colin Jost. I'm not sure if it was the very next year. I think it was.
And Rich Little.
They had a historian read. They were talking about getting rid of comedians altogether because they were so terrified that somebody might go up there and tell the truth again. But now they just get comedians who have their minds right.
Oh my God.
So as a journalist, Max, you have any comment on this event?
Well, I spent that night up till like 2 a.m. just watching on replay the so-called journalists going in being heckled by protesters, anti-genocide protesters. I just couldn't stop watching it. It was so satisfying. I wanted to put it on like VR on like an Oculus. It was like watching VR porn. It was just incredible. Tigberry from Code Pink dropped a massive Palestine flag banner from a room at the Hilton.
Okay.
After getting a room, the protests outside were absolutely massive. And Medea and Tig were then brutally assaulted by regime security forces on hand. Medea was injured badly in her leg. And you can see in the video of that, the correspondents are walking in their tuxedos and evening gowns, just walking right by two protesters being brutally assaulted. And they just casually ignore them because that kind of stuff doesn't happen in our country. We need to go free Evan Gershkovich in Russia. And who's Julian Assange? He wasn't even mentioned the entire time.
No.
I think about when I watch those. I mean, you see the pure function of the Washington press corps there as complete stenographers for power, courtiers who are careerist and don't really care whatever it takes to get close to power. They're going to do it. And you contrast them with someone like Wael Dahdouh, who was Al Jazeera's chief correspondent for its Arabic network in Gaza. At the beginning of Israel's assault on Gaza, I think in the first or second week, his home was bombed. Most of his family was killed. His wife was killed. His daughter was killed. One of his sons was killed, who was a budding journalist. And he went back to work 2 days later.
Right. He's still working.
None of those people would have been able to take that. And then Israel assassinated his only surviving son after killing Wael Dahdouh's cameraman and badly wounding Wael. So that really contrasts with the mentality of those journalists there who showed no solidarity to Dahdouh or any of the 140 Palestinian journalists who were killed and many of them were just killed in targeted assassinations, bombed while they were sleeping at home with their families. I mean, I just don't know how you can walk in there if you have a conscience, but none of those people do. They don't, like, the demons don't come to them at night. And you can, I really
care about journalists who are actually spies for the, like, free the one that's probably a spy, because most of them are probably assets.
Well, yeah, I mean, Gershkovich,
because he should be out. I think 100%. I think he is a spy. If you look up his background, that's who the CIA picks out to do spy work almost exclusively. They know the language very well. Their parents came, like how Cubans come here and then they're like, we'll help kill Kennedy. Those kind of loyal people. That's what he comes from Max Boot people.
Well, this
is. Remember what he was doing when he was arrested?
What?
Tubing? He was posted up outside Russian metallurgical factories making artillery shells, trying to interview workers on their way out about Russia's capacity for manufacturing artillery and delivering it to the Ukrainian battlefield. Can you imagine? That's literally what he was doing.
I'm just reporting.
That's a normal man on the street question, isn't it?
Spying is a kind of reporting.
Just how many shells are coming out per hour. And I mean, whoever his editor is should be jailed for sending him on that assignment, unless the assignment was crafted by the CIA. Now, I would like to see him out. He's a person, I feel sorry for his family. but no Russian reporter from a Russian state media organization or major Russian media organization would be allowed to get away with going to a arms manufacturing plant in the U.S. doing the same thing.
Of course.
Okay?
Black Uhuru can't even talk about it a little bit. They're a Russian asset. They all got to be arrested. Like a reporter, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, but I think that's why they admire him so much in the Washington press corps, because all of them want to be assets.
If there's anything hopeful here, I would say the heyday of this event was the Obama years. Nobody was really questioning this weird incestuous thing where you didn't really see a lot of Hollywood celebrities anymore. But
wait a minute, I got to interrupt. Remember Larry Wilmore's?
Yes,
I was on that show.
Larry Wilmore destroyed Obama, and Obama was seething. His whole sense of inviolability had been penetrated. And then Larry Wilmore disappeared.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, he also messed up. He made a joke about women at the height of 2015, and then he never took a chance again on any jokes.
Then you can't be funny anymore.
I was on with Fareed Zakaria.
Were you
on Larry Wilmore? Yeah.
And Fareed Zakaria?
I was on with Fareed Zakaria and somebody else. And,
are you serious?
Wow.
I'm dead serious. That was a successor to The Daily Show.
Right.
Comedy
Central, I used to watch
stuff.
it. Yeah.
And we were arguing about if a liberal college education was worth the money. That was the argument. And Fareed said, yeah, it is. Because if you look statistically, that's who does the best. Statistically, weren't they going to do the best anyway, though, Fareed? Right. The people who were being pushed to that, generally, I'll bet you added them up, they were going to be all right, whether they went or not.
You're already coming from that class.
Yeah, because they went to better high schools.
Of course.
So did you see any video of Ryan Grimm walking past the protesters on his way into there? Because he had to be in there, and I'm sure he just had to let the decency wash all over him. Am I right? You didn't see any? My question is, you didn't see it?
I don't think he attended, but I don't know.
Okay.
I do think this is...
My reporting is that he did.
I think...
People are saying that he did.
People are saying that. People are saying. I think at this point, people are so very much like the Academy Awards. People are so disgusted by their elites that they just don't want to embrace them anymore. I think the change has been people don't see them as our elites anymore. They see them as the elites.
So the last time I paid any attention to the White House Correspondents Dinner, it was when I sponsored Randy Credico to go there and report back for our show. And he did a protest for Julian Assange in the middle of it. He wore a tuxedo. He got invited. Somehow he got invited. And so
how'd that happen?
And we bankrolled him to go there. And he got kicked out because he said something about Julian Assange. And so they immediately had the security knock him, cuff him, and throw him out. And guess what? Nobody reported about it. Room full of fucking reporters. Not one news article written about it. Not one tweet about it. Not anything. They all acted like it didn't happen.
Well, it's a big party where they celebrate that they're all in on it.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Why does it exist at all? It's literally where they all acknowledge the conspiracy in one room and have a good chuckle about it, and then you're an asshole if you think there's a conspiracy.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's why no protesters were probably able to get inside, right? Because most of these high-profile Biden events this year have had protesters heckle him from in the room. But I guess that's so tightly controlled who gets in that they just couldn't get somebody in.
Have you ever been invited, Max?
No. I mean,
you get into places I would not think they'd let you in. That's why I ask.
Hey, Max, I'm the after party and bring your adrenochrome.
Yeah.
Bring a body filled with adrenochrome.
I was kind of wondering what would happen if I just walked up to it with a tuxedo on. Maybe they would just let me in, because why not? I mean,
well,
I'm going to give it a try.
Next year.
I got into in 2001, I guess it was, right after the 9/11 attacks. I was living in LA, and I got into the Academy Awards by just walking up there like I belonged.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in the auditorium. I went to the governor's ball. I walked out on the red carpet. They just let me in because I just walked up to the rope line with confidence. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think that works. If you walk with purpose, like you belong somewhere, that'll
you're
work
white.
probably most of the time. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was
That's
like,
how you
I'm
gotta
a
do it
white
in
man
woman's locker
owning
room
this.
if you're a man. Sachet work.
Only a
Cover
planet.
girl.
Only a Planet Fitness. That only works there. All right, Max. Where can people find you?
But people know where to find me.
Don't
and
rat out
hopefully,
Max.
Yeah, that's right.
But
Max, you
they'll
want to
find
get
me wherever the Mossad is looking.
where? Seriously, before I let you go, do you ever worry about that? Do you ever worry about the Mossad agent? You having an accident, that kind of thing. Not, knock on wood and all that. Because honestly, I'm not as visible as you are, and it definitely occurs to me. Like not now, but maybe down the line.
After that happens, someone will clip this out and it'll go viral.
Or do you worry? Are you
Well,
worried
the fact
they're
that you
gonna
and
kidnap
Aaron
you?
are still around is an inspiration to anti-Zionist Jewish podcasters everywhere.
Then what if they capture you and make you stop hating yourself?
They keep trying to get Jimmy to join Bohemian Grove. I don't know what happens if he keeps turning them down.
You can't live your life in fear, and you can't be swinging at shadows. So I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm finding a lot of hope in what's happening across this country on campuses, in cities where people are protesting against the Biden-backed genocide. And I'm just glad to be alive right now. So I'm going to get up every day. This is my philosophy, and just be the biggest bastard I can be. And whatever happens, happens.
Now, those are words to live by from Mr. Max Blumenthal. All right, Max, thank you.
And I'll be opening for Jimmy in June.
What's that?
We're doing a show together in June.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're doing a show at the what's it called? It's Rutherford, New Jersey.
Icarus?
Yeah, the Icarus Festival. It's on,
Icarus. Yeah.
I think it's like June 10th or something like that. Max and I will be
that?
doing a stand-up show together. So everybody,
nice.
should. I think there's a link for tickets at my website. No. Yeah, so there's a link for tickets over at jimmydore.com, and go get them there. Don't buy tickets from resellers. Had someone pay $100 per ticket to see me in San Antonio. Tickets are only $35. I don't know why. Anyway, so so we'll see you. I think it's June 10th in Rutherford, New Jersey, at the Icarus Festival. Max will be there. There's another couple other comedians too. It's going to be a great time. See you there.
Yeah, so
June
something
7th?
to live for.
June 7th.
Something-
June 7th. It's a Friday night.
7th. Yeah, the Icarus Festival. It's great. I mean, really cool people. I think that's what my favorite thing about it is. Just everyone there is woke in the good way. Also, May 15th, since I got a platform now, May 15th, I'll be in New York. I'll announce it on Twitter with Anya Parampil, my very close colleague, for the launch of her book, Corporate Coup, which you can order right now.
Hey, isn't May 15th? Isn't that the Nakba? I imagine there's going to be massive demonstrations, right? That's May 15th, right? I know it's mid-May, right?
It's Israel Independence Day. What are you talking about?
I imagine there's going to be massive protests that day. Obviously, there'd have to be.
Do they have a
Hang on. So you're doing like a book launch?
Yeah, we'll be at the OR Books headquarters offices in the East Village in New York, and it's a book launch discussion. It'll be cool. Might even have some stand up there. I don't know. We're trying to figure out the contours of the event. But if you're in New York and you're watching, look out for that, and I'll definitely be there.
If who's published that book? Who's publishing it?
It's called OR. And
Okay.
they've got a lot. They have some.
Have them send me a copy. I'd love to see it, and I'd love to have her on the show to talk about it. If she wants to, if she's not embarrassed to come on the show with me, I know I'm.
No, definitely, she would love that, and I think they're going to do 2 titles with Aaron Mate as well. So we're hoping he finishes his books.
Yeah, Aaron. I don't think Aaron's going to finish his book, but good luck to him on that. Anyway, he's not really good with deadlines. He's not pushing himself. Anyway, but I'm glad he comes out to Los Angeles. I get to see him every once in a while. Anyway, all right, Max, great to talk to you, pal.
Yeah.
Tell Anya we said hello. Give your baby a kiss for us.
Sure.
And we'll see you soon.
Thank you very much, Max.
Peace. Thanks for having me on.
I believe having a substantial percentage of my financial future secured with gold and silver. I do believe in that. You know this if you watch this show. That's why I decided to partner with our sponsor, Colonial Metals Group. They helped me set up a safe and secure self-directed IRA where I have access to my assets no matter what the stock market, or for that matter, what the government is doing. Let the team of experts at Colonial Metals Group help you protect your family's future. We put together a special offer for our audience. Listen to this offer. Click on the link in the description below or call the special 800 number, which is 888-910-1419, and you'll receive a safe. You're going to get a safe and up to 10 grand in free silver. They say up to. I want to know how much that is going to be. So call 888-910-1419, 888-910-1419, and let a team of experts at Colonial Metals help you protect your family's future. Hey, come see us do a live show. We're going to be in Denver, Colorado, May 11th, Los Angeles, California, doing a live panel show with a celebrity panel and video, Ashland, Virginia, Athens, Georgia, Rutherford, New Jersey, with Max Blumenthal, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Ontario, California, Irvine, California, Chicago, Illinois, with another celebrity panel, live video show in Chicago, and Grand Rapids, Michigan. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets, jimmydore.com. for a link for tickets.